Today we're talking oil samples.
That's going up on YouTube tonight.
Welcome back to the Plays with Cars YouTube channel, and today we are talking about oil samples. Part of Project Audi is we mailed off to Blackstone Laboratories a oil sample. So we had just purchased that car and needed to know some more information about it. So what you get, this is from Blackstone. There's a bunch of oil analysis companies out there. This is not sponsored. I pay full price for all of this, and they're just the ones that we chose. But so this is what they give you in an oil analysis kit. The others are similar with the different brands, but you get this outer shell with a pre-played label to send them back, and inside is everything you need to do the oil sample, including nice little handy-dandy oil change sticker, which is super cool, a piece of oil absorbent pad, and then this is the really important bit, because this is where you put all the stuff about your vehicle and what you are looking for when it comes to the samples. So they've got the how many miles are on it, or hours, if you've had to add any oil between changes, the oil type, stuff like that. And what you get back, so you put the oil in that, obviously, put everything in, or you put the ticket in there, put everything back in here with the absorbent pad, and mail it off. Easy peasy. About a week later, you get this back. So this is the actual oil analysis report for our Audi S4. We assumed there was about 5,000 miles on that oil based on the mileage that was on the car when we purchased it from the dealer, and they claimed that they had changed the oil and it looked clean, so we had no reason to disbelieve them. But it says that averages show typical wear after about 6,200 miles of use. Low insolubles show proper oil filtration, and no measurable fuel was detected. So that was great. In fact, they put on here the only item warranting a bold mark was silicon. With good wear, it may have a harmless source like sealer, but it wouldn't hurt to make sure all is wear with air filtration. Silicon can be dirt. So this is interesting because part of the car getting it all ready to go is it needed the timing covers, the rear timing covers resealed, and those don't use a regular gasket, they use sealant, and we had that done at the Audi Service Center, so there might be a little bit of silicone in the oil from them doing the sealant. And then also, the dirt part, the air filter was extremely dirty in this car. The selling dealer did not take care of it at all, and it was an Arizona car. It was caked full of dirt. So we had to clean that out right away. So definitely we can see two sources of those. So hopefully on our next test we won't show any high silicon. So they put on here all your stuff, and then as you get more samples, the old samples will come across here, so you instantly have them to compare against. But you've got your aluminum, chromium, iron, copper, lead, tin, and molybdenum, nickel, manganese, silver, titanium, potassium, boron. There's our silicon that was high. You can see they bolded it there. Sodium, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, and barium. And then down here is properties. So these are the elements. These show like wear in the engine. Like for example, copper. If you get a lot of copper, it shows that your bearings are about toast, because copper is the last part in the bearing. But anyways, here under properties, they show you a viscosity, the flash point, and they tell you what the value should be. The fuel dilution, antifreeze, this is great. We've got no antifreeze, no water in the oil at all. That means head gaskets are holding on nice and tight, no issues with the oil cooler or any of that stuff. Our flash point is great. So this was really a really good oil test. So now what we can do is we're going to put 5,000 miles on the car, know for sure. We know exactly what oil we put in it. Send another one of these off, and then we'll get a second test, and it will show this test in this column, and then we'll get a whole column full of new things, and hopefully that silicon will be down, and then we will know for sure that our Audi is completely good to go. You can see here we've actually got 3 oil kits. The reason for that is we've got more than one car we want to test this out on. So we've got our Project Porsche, the 986S Boxster autocross car. It ran all last season on its oil. So when we do the oil change, we're going to send that off to figure that out. And then there's the Project Z06, the Corvette we just bought last fall. We haven't done an oil change on that yet either. Want to know what that car is looking like because it probably spent a lot of time sitting being so low miles. So we'll have some more oil reports that we'll report on in those cars in their builds. You can follow along and subscribe, and then you can get all the updates on the builds on those cars. But this was just a general overview of what an oil analysis is and why you should do it. It definitely is a good thing to do. It's well worth the money on a car that is really important to you, that has an expensive engine, something that you're going to modify or want to maintain for a long time. It can really tell you the health of the engine inside that you couldn't otherwise tell. So because of that, definitely recommend you do it. If not with Blackstone, with any of the competitors. Like I said, these are just the ones we chose. So hope that was informative for all of you. And until next time, that's been the Plays with Cars YouTube channel.